If you enjoyed that intro roll, be sure to give the video a like for the YouTube algorithm. Between you and me, I got in a little bit of trouble while filming some of that footage, so please feel free to drop a like so that the algorithm can know to do its magic. With that said, today's video is going to be formatted a little bit differently than my regular videos because I want to focus on answering the question, was it worth it to redeem my Chase Ultimate Reward points to book a hotel room at the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar? This video will be split into 4 sections and I will try to keep it as brief as I possibly can, but also give you all of the information on the value that I received and how I received it. For section number 1, I will briefly discuss how I accumulated the points needed to stay at this hotel. In section number 2, I will discuss my strategy for booking this room, how many points I spent for my stay, and quickly show you the room that I booked. Now, I will say that there were some minor issues with this room, and I will go over that in more detail in another video. In section number 3, I'll show more footage of the resort to give you a little bit of an idea of what you can expect to experience. And finally, I will conclude with whether I recommend redeeming points to experience the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar or to save your points for another experience. That was a mouthful, but I will see you again right after my regular 8-second roll. Accumulating points is the most important part to being able to get free hotel stays. I wish that I knew this information prior to redeeming 40,000 Ultimate Reward points to pay for a $400 piece of furniture, but I made this mistake and now you all get the benefit of learning from my mistake so that you don't do the same thing. And you'll see later on in this video just how valuable those points really were. The vast majority of my points came from receiving sign-up bonus offers for Chase credit cards, and the strategy that I used was to get a complete Chase trifecta. Now, if you have no idea about the Chase trifecta, this means that an individual has a total of 3 Chase credit cards that earn Ultimate Reward points, with one of those credit cards being a travel card that gives you access to use Chase's transfer partners. I went into more details on this subject in the video that I'll link above for your convenience, and I'll also provide the link in the description section of this video. So with my Chase trifecta, I'm holding the Chase Freedom Unlimited, Chase Freedom Flex, and Chase Sapphire Preferred credit cards. Of these 3 credit cards, the Chase Sapphire Preferred is the only credit card that has an annual fee of $95. However, it is the travel credit card in this lineup that gives access to the Chase's transfer partners. It is worth mentioning that the Sapphire Preferred comes with a $50 statement credit each account anniversary year for hotel stays purchased using the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, thereby giving you an effective annual fee of $45. With each of these credit cards, I received the following sign-up bonus offers, but understand that at the recording of this video, these welcome offers are no longer available, and also understand that welcome offers tend to change pretty regularly. With the Chase Freedom Unlimited, I received a welcome offer of 15,000 Ultimate Reward points after spending $500 within the first 3 months after account opening. This welcome offer was actually increased last year, I believe, so the current offer is currently better. After this, I got the Chase Sapphire Preferred when it had a historically high 100,000 Ultimate Reward point offer after spending $4,000 within the first 3 months of account opening. This offer has since been reduced back to the standard 60,000 Ultimate Reward points. Last but not least, I received 25,000 Ultimate Reward points after spending $500 within the first 3 months of account opening, plus 5% cash back on grocery purchases for the first year with the Chase Freedom Flex. I actually applied for this one in branch, and that got me the additional 5,000 Ultimate Reward points above the online offer of 20,000 Ultimate Reward points. Altogether, with sign-up bonus offers, I was able to accumulate 140,000 points, plus all of the points that I accumulated through the years of using my Chase credit cards, and also points from those of you who use my referral links to sign up for a Chase credit card. So a big thanks to all of you, because that is totally awesome. Now, with that base level information out of the way, let's talk briefly about how I booked the hotel room. The first thing that I did was search the points calendar for off off-peak dates at the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar. At the time of my booking, standard rooms cost 17,000 points per night for an off-peak reservation with points. I'll show a screenshot here of the points calendar so that you can see what that looks like. Also, here's a screenshot showing how much points you'll need during the peak season, which seems to be a high of 23,000 points per night. For this particular hotel, I'd recommend targeting an off-peak stay, as I found it difficult to find any dates during peak season where points were accepted. Which leads me to say, please make sure that you confirm that rooms are available to book with your points before transferring your points over from Chase to Hyatt. Now, the value that I received was a little bit more than I actually expected because I kind of asked for a little bit more. Really, I asked for a room with an ocean view, and oh boy, did I get a room with an ocean view. Just look for it in the video footage that I'll play shortly. Don't blink because you just may miss it. On top of this, I also got a balcony with 2 seats and a table, and those rooms tend to cost a little bit more. Basically, with points, I was supposed to get a standard queen room with the smallest balcony. Granted, on the website, these rooms aren't listed as having a balcony, I guess because it's a smaller ledge with a railing and maybe too small to accommodate seats. I don't know why they have it that way, but sure. I also didn't record the footage of the smaller balconies, but it looks like it was a little larger than half of the size of the balcony that I had. The room directly above mine had this smaller balcony, which was a little odd because they could have looked down onto my balcony if they wanted to. The advanced member rate for an ocean view room with balcony is $460 per night, and with resort fees and taxes, the total comes to $2,603. The total amount of Ultimate Reward points I spent was 68,000 points for the 4 nights, which gave me a point redemption value of 3.8 cents per point. Since Chase Ultimate Reward points are worth at least 2 cents per point according to the points guy, I can rate this as a pretty solid redemption value. Now, I know you're waiting for the quick room tour, so let's get on with that. Alright guys, this is the entrance to the room. A mirror is on the left and there is a double entry door to the bathroom. We have double vanity sinks. We have the toilet and the shower to the right, which are separated by these partially frosted glass, which is really nice. The shower is a walk-in shower, of course. And of course, there is the tub, the soaking tub. And yes, this bathroom does open up to the bedroom area, which is kind of cool. Straight ahead, you see a desk. To the right are the 2 queen beds. Excuse my family in this shot. Hopefully they don't mind that I'm using this video, but hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. Alright, and now I'm walking out to the balcony, which was an upgrade for me, and there is my ocean view. Like I said, don't blink because you'll miss it. So as you all saw, I had a tiny squeeze of an ocean view, but I actually enjoyed it because I was able to see a few cruise ships come in and out of port, so that was pretty cool and made up for the heavily obstructed ocean view. Now that we're done with the point redemption information, let's roll some more footage of the beautiful Baha Mar property before we get into my final thoughts. Again, some of my footage is a little bit shaky, so forgive me for that, but you'll get a pretty good feel for the resort. Alright guys, as I mentioned previously, this resort is plentiful with the pools. The pool that you're looking at now has cabanas on the side, and apparently if you want to use this pool, you do have to rent a cabana. It's supposed to be a little bit more of a private experience, which I don't understand since the casino is literally right behind me, and this is like one of the most busiest parts of the resort with pedestrian traffic. Now this waterfall is coming down from that pool that we just took a look at and is going into one of the main pools on the property. It's one of the larger pools as well. Even though there are several large pools on property, I think it is beautiful. And here is another view of that pool looking towards the ocean rather than towards the waterfall. And again, I found it to be stunning. Now this particular pool is right next to the drift bar, which is at those buildings, those colorful buildings on the side. That's where I paid $6 for that darn bottle of water. But there are 2 large swimming pools here. Here's one to the south and one to the north. I have no idea if it's south or north, but that's what I'm going to go with. And again, there are cabanas for lease as well. Now, this pool was a little bit more secluded. The staff referred to this as the round swimming pool. It seemed a little bit boring to me, so I didn't really spend any time at this swimming pool. Now, this pool is the exciting one. This has the rock formation with the waterfall coming down, and in between there, where you see the rocks, there is the aquarium. Now, this is the other end of that swimming pool, and the good thing about this pool is that it has that beach style entry, so that's really cool. But coming up, I'm going to walk through that aquarium area. And here we go, walking through that aquarium area. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but as I recorded this, I did not take out my camera to record whenever a shark came by this glass. But there are several, I believe they were nurse sharks within this tank. But enjoy the view of the fishes. This was another cool aspect. And the water in this pool was kind of cold for me as well, but didn't seem to bother anybody. Maybe I get cold a little bit too quickly. Now, this was actually a surprise. There are flamingos at this hotel and they are so beautiful. So every morning there is a flamingo walk. I didn't get footage of that walk because my nephew wanted me to hold him and I totally forgot to record it. But here we are on the lawn with the flamingos. One thing that was really funny was seeing them fight with one another. I chose not to include that footage, but they did fight. And one thing that I didn't know was underneath that flamingo's wing is black, as you just saw. But beautiful, beautiful birds, and they're pretty interesting. Now, on this pathway, we are walking towards the beach. There are a couple of restaurants and shops on the left-hand side here. And this is just another nice area within the resort. Again, the landscaping, it just feels really lush and tropical. And you can see the pier towards the end there, and that goes over the ocean. And my nephew is just having the time of his life at this hotel. And here we are here at last at the beach with the beautiful white powdery sand, the beautiful ocean. It is such a picturesque view. I love it. It is beautiful, and I did have a blast at the beach as well. Now, off of the beach is the water park. This is the entryway into the water park, and there are a couple of shops to your right as you walk to enter into the water park. And from here, we are going to go over to the Turtle Cove, which is the kids area. Now, going over to Turtle Cove, first of all, taking a look over the bridge, we are looking down over the lazy river, which seems to be pretty low down there. But that lazy river was a pretty good experience. While I went on it, it took me about 10 to 12 minutes to go through the whole river. I'm not sure if that's because the staff stated that he turned up the waves so it could be more of a thrill going through there, but I definitely think the waves pushed us along a little bit quicker than what we're seeing currently, and I will show footage of that later. But first, we have to go over to the Turtle Cove, and I think I'm calling that by the correct name. So looking over at the toddler area, this is the swimming pool. They have their little waterfall of their own. The pool is 1 foot 6 inches deep at its deepest end on this side. I'm not sure how deep it gets on the other side, but I believe it was the same depth. And they also had a little splash pad. It was pretty cool. Right off of the kids area is this cabana area. And again, we have some more lush tropical landscaping. It seemed to be pretty secluded and quiet just due to all of the landscaping surrounding the cabanas. I didn't take a look inside any of them because I didn't know if they were currently reserved or if anybody was in there. So I just walked around this area or walked through this area and got the footage for you all. Now, this is the view of the lazy river. This is me having a little bit of fun. So we're coming up to the point where the waves come down, as we can see. And here's this guy holding this kid against the ropes so that the waves can push him when it comes along. I thought that was so funny. But here comes the waves, and he moves off to the side, and I get a huge splash, and it gets all over my camera. And of course, my lens is has water on it. I try to wipe it off to clear it up, but I wasn't very successful. Wiping off the lens with wet fingers is just not a good idea, to be honest. So I got it to be a little bit more clear. So I wanted to show a little bit more of the lazy river. There will be another wave upcoming, but as you can see, it's pretty plain. It's nothing super exciting, but I did find it to be a relaxing, chill ride. And here comes that wave. You can see it down in the distance. And one, two, three, and I get pushed along, and it was so fun. I did enjoy this, I must say. I would do it again, but I was like just running through the water park trying to get everything done as if I didn't have enough time to do it. Now, what we're seeing here is the water coaster, and I had so much fun with this ride or slide, whatever you want to call it. The only thing I didn't like was that the water was cold. I absolutely hate cold water, but I guess that adds to the experience, to the thrill of the ride. So every time we go down and we're getting sprayed with water, I'm getting sprayed with cold water and I'm not loving it. But I got my mom to do this with me. It is a two-person ride, and she had a blast. She is actually behind me. And here's the end of the ride there. Okay, now this one was a little crazy. This is where the platform falls from beneath your feet and you go into a little bit of a free fall. I had a blast with this. I actually went on this 4 times trying to get a good video for you all, but you get like half of a view of the ride. You can see it's filled with water and it's pretty fast, but I just try to get as much of the video as possible. I went on it 4 times, so if you can give me a like for doing that for you guys, that would be great, and the YouTube algorithm may happen to love this video.
Oh man, now that was a thrill. Anyway, did it for you all. Hope you enjoy it. Crazy. The other one, I don't think I could do that one.
Alright, this happened on my last night. At least they do this every night with the fire show on the water. I must say the flames are extremely hot. I wish I got more footage of it, but by the time I got down to it, the flames were already going out, and this was my last night. So this is the tail end of it, and we can see the flames going completely out, but it was so cool to witness. And finally, we have the fountain show with lights, and this is actually synchronized to music. I'm not going to play any of the music because I don't want to get a copyright strike on this YouTube video, but do know that the water and the lights are going along with the beat or timing of music, or they had several tracks that were playing. I'm not sure how many tracks they have, but I listened to maybe 1 or 2 songs while I took this footage, and then I never came back to look at it. I wanted to bring down my little nephew to look at the light show, but it didn't happen. Let's move on to my final thoughts. I'll start off with the positives, then transition to the negatives, and summarize whether I think this experience was worth 68,000 ultimate reward points. The hotel was absolutely beautiful and the grounds are exquisitely maintained. I actually saw the hotel staff sweeping some excess soil or dirt off of the lawn. This dirt wasn't all over the lawn. In fact, it was in a very small portion, and I don't think anyone really would have noticed, but this just shows the level of detail that the hotel staff adheres to keep the grounds of the resort spotless. Imagine sweeping your lawn at home. The pools were plentiful and were never overcrowded. In my footage I shared, I filmed the pool areas before 8 in the morning, so there literally weren't any guests in the pools, but don't let that fool you. These pools do come to life, however, there was more than ample room to have a very enjoyable experience. The water park is a nice perk of the hotel that's included in your stay. I will say that the park is smaller than the water park over at Atlantis. However, this park is still a lot of fun. I was very surprised at how much I enjoyed the little toddler area with my nephew. I took him down the slides over and over and over and over again. You guys know how kids are. And I had a blast. The only true line I encountered was at the Flow Rider / Surf Simulators, but that line only had about 10 people. All of the other slides didn't have a line, so I was able to get through the water park experience in about an hour to an hour and a half. This would obviously change depending upon how many rooms are booked and how many day pass visitors are on property. Food was very tasty, very well seasoned, and full of flavor. I have no complaints about anything that I ate, so that is a huge positive, especially for hotel food. The waiters and waitresses were also extremely nice and seemed very genuine. I will revisit the food when I mention some of the drawbacks. The space within the room was nice and it was actually a bit larger in person than what comes across in photos and videos. The space was adequate and I never felt crammed in. I also found the bed to be very comfortable. I just wish that we got 4 pillows on each bed since that was shown on the pictures rather than the 2 pillows that we had because those pillows are goose feather pillows. Now on to some negatives. The hotel is a pretty busy place. With all of the restaurants and the beautiful grounds, this place attracts a lot of foot traffic, especially with the casino, which is very beautiful by the way, being located within the lobby. There was always a good amount of guests to walk by in the lobby, plus the sounds from the machine as well. If you're looking for a chill and relaxing weekend, this may not be the experience for you. Beautiful resort, but there is quite a bit of foot traffic. Although the food is tasty, it is expensive. For example, for one 20 fluid ounce bottle of Dasani water, I was charged $6 at Drift Bar. I'm still a little bit salty about that because I can't think of any reason to justify why one bottle of water costs so much, especially when a 24-pack of Dasani costs around $5 over here in the US. Also, the hotel provides 4 free bottles of the same water in your hotel room daily, so I really don't understand the upcharge. Anyway, just to give you another idea, the breakfast buffet was $45 per person. This is breakfast. Breakfast is typically the cheapest meal. You should definitely budget a few $100s per person if you are going to stay at this hotel for a few days. Unfortunately, my room showed some wear, and this is being a little nitpicky, but since this is somewhat of a luxury hotel, I wouldn't expect to see these issues. There were rips on a couple of pieces of furniture, some of the furniture was stained, there was dust accumulating at the bottom of the sliding glass door and on the panel design of the bathroom door. The tiles in the bathroom were stained. It seems as if the wrong cleaning product was used, which led to the inevitable staining, and the internally illuminated mirror in the bathroom seemed to have an issue with some of the internal components melting. For the brand of the hotel, I find these issues to be absolutely inexcusable. And while we're talking about the bathroom, this is my personal preference. I had a few issues with the bathroom. One night after flushing the toilet, the water kept running and there was no way for me to stop it. So the water ran for the rest of the night until I called for someone from engineering to come early in the morning to fix it, and they did immediately. Also, the movable panels to open the bathroom to the bedroom was nice. However, the majority of the bathroom is finished with marble tiles on the walls and floors, so this means that everything echoes. I would have much rather an actual fixed wall with drywall and insulation to help insulate the sound in the bathroom. Lastly, the bathroom doors do not lock. This is a non-issue unless you have a toddler in your room who loves to follow you everywhere and can reach the door handles. But overall, guys, this is my final opinion about the resort. It was a wonderful experience. I will say I am very happy that I redeemed some of my Chase Ultimate Reward points so I didn't have to spend $2,600 to book my hotel room, especially since food was pretty expensive. So this was a pretty good stay. I will say at 3.8 cents per point valuation for the redemption value of my points, this hotel is somewhat worth it. I did have a really good experience. It's just going to be up to you on which you want to look for. It is a pretty busy place, but you can have a whole lot of fun and there is some value to be gained from using your points. Now with a regular standard room with a smaller balcony, I believe my valuation would have been somewhere around 3.2 cents per point when I did it earlier, but the room rates do fluctuate. So guys, that is my complete review of the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar. I do say if you have some points or some extra points that you're looking to do something with, go ahead, spend those points on the hotel, but I won't recommend spending all of your points on the hotel. I don't think it's that worth it, but it was a beautiful beautiful experience, that I can say. You made it all the way to the end of the video, and I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this information, make sure that you hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future, comment down below if you enjoyed this style of video, and you made it to the end, so you get a high five. So come and get your high five, guys.